Look at this in the light. I just want to show you guys how the Birdman comes out in color and how we have the proverbial human with the jawline, his mouth, his nose, and in this red color is his eye, of course, in the middle there. And then on the very top of him, you can see how this is his crest. The black section is the beak of the bird. And if you look closely, you can see the little ribs around the beak. And you can see the little bird eye. And you can see how the rest of the bird, the same head color, is down here at the bottom as well. Now, the reason why it doesn't just look like one thing is because it is several different things, but oftentimes making it small really helps. So you can see how that little mouth indentation is done. It's a style. It's one layer in the front and then one layer in the back that comes above it, and you see how they zigzag, like kind of. This is the art of these stone aged people. This is an art that has a history of upwards of 300,000 years, and so it's almost unrecognizable by modern standards. However, this piece, this small little effigy, and looking at it, over the shoulder as if the person's looking away, is really the way that you're supposed to look at the art. And you can see how this little tiny bird is represented. It's just a bird on his head, on the person's head there. And going further into this, just every little carving, you can see how these perhaps are headdress pieces wisping down, and you see how these little dots are coming down. This is hair, all braided. And I'll zoom in on some of this here for you, and then I'll also change the shadow. That's how intricate this stuff is. And they want you to believe, that these people were just savages. And I want to tell you, erasing people is no new business. This business has been going on for a very long time. So don't be surprised when you see that, cultures in your own backyard are trying to be, or attempted to be taken away. These are beautiful pieces of art. You can see how we have these outside, demon kind of faces. And then on the interior, we can see the color, the white spot. How these portraits, it's just a pareidolia type of art. And Native American art has always been that. If you look into recreations of Native American art today, I don't care if you're talking about Cherokee or anybody, what we have here is a mammoth head that is painted. So we have the eye of the mammoth, and we have the head that is painted red, and the trunk of the mammoth is coming down. And I'll give you guys a few different shots of the mammoth here, because the paint on the head of the mammoth is very important. So I'm going to skip ahead now, and we'll move on to a new piece. There's so much more to see on this, just this one though, as you guys can see, hopefully. Before we move on, I want to give it justice. So it's a bird this way, you guys can see, pointing to the right with the tail. It's beautiful with the big belly. It's like a sign of fertility. You can see the white painting for the eye, right? You guys see this. And we flip it over here. On the other side, it's also a bird. We have this bird shape with the tail coming up to the back on the right-hand side, of course, with the beak over here, and the round head. And again, kind of a pretty fat belly, but what we do is we turn it around. That way you can see the upper part of the wing. If you guys know how tails and how birds look, you can see every detail. I should probably put a picture of a bird up here. I don't know how many people know about birds and the wings and all the details for those wings. But if you look at all these little crisscrosses and markings, all these little ribs, these are the details for a bird. Very fascinating. I like to shake it around a little bit when it's a bird like that. All right, guys, let's go ahead and move to the backyard. Here's our man with the bird mask, though. Before we go too far, like I said, there's just so much to see on this one piece. So we can see the black over the eye. Maybe I'll point him upward just a little bit, but you can see these little ribs in here, and you tune this in. It's a 3D style of art, so you can tune it in like this and create these little portraits and profiles that come out. These are characters. All right, thanks guys for joining. Changing the environment just a little bit. I'll show you a few of the effigies that we have laid out. A lot of these are getting sent out. We have tons of stuff to still send out. You guys can see the packing paper and things on these, but we have so many. These are the shale ones, and don't know what I'm going to do with a lot of these stone ones. The wooden ones, I'm pretty sure I know what I'm going to do with those. But it's just a shame to kind of see them all. I don't want to just let them all get destroyed, so maybe I'll put like a sign up or something and let people come and pick them up if you guys are in North Carolina. So let me know if you guys think that's a good idea. I don't know. Figure something out. So this is perfect. There's not a whole lot of wind, and we can start off by looking at this colorful mammoth here. We can see how the eye is painted in and how the rest of the body is done behind it in black. And you can see how the hump is done here. We're going to look at several examples of these guys, but you can see this one here portrayed. And here we have two more. It's a little bit weird to just show them on the table, so I'll have to pick them up to show you guys. So you can see how the whole trunk and the face of the mammoth is painted. And I know you guys can't see these eyes yet, but the details right here in this section are the eye of the mammoth. And so the mammoth's trunk is painted black and red, and you can see how it's got white paint on the hump of it as well. And then whenever you tilt it, you may be able to see perhaps some of the rest of the body there. Let's go ahead and take a look at this one as well. And here we have another mammoth here. So this one has the same black, red, white paint on the top of his head, you guys can see. And looking at the camera, I can't exactly see it right now because I have to stay out of the shadow. But it's really kind of tough to show these, especially when they're heavy and big like this. But you guys can kind of see it here. Let me put it on the ground and maybe you can see it from far away. So they painted the mammoth head, and you can probably see the ear flopping over, right, with the black outline. So they decorated their mammoths. It's incredible. It's really interesting. Furthermore, the Mississippian art that is mixed in with the mammoths shows us that the Mississippian art was taking place, you know, for a very long time, much longer than just Cahokia. This is the Mississippian culture lived with mammoths. So I think that's super interesting. We have this one to take apart still, and we have some great mammoth on it as well. So we can see here pretty well, hopefully, the mammoth trunk, the white section, and the eye of it. And I'm going to go ahead and pause and get our lighting just perfect. And here we have a stone representation of a mammoth head. You can see the bulbous round head, right? The hump, the proverbial mammoth hump. And then you can see how the trunk is down at my forearm. It's the whole mammoth body there, or the head anyway. And when we look inside of the details for the eye, you can see the little spot for the eye there. So it's really crazy. And it makes sense, right? The rocks are shaped like mammoths. That's the people who were living here. I think we just greatly underestimated them. And that's really my message, is that, hey, these people created a whole lot of stuff, and it's all still out here. It's all still out here. It's right there at our construction sites. I mean, and it's cool to learn about. If you want to learn about history and stuff, you want to learn about North American history, you want to learn the whole story. You don't want to just learn a little bit of it, right? You want to learn the real thing. And in order to learn the real thing, you actually just have to go out and get it. You have to go out and get after it. Because no one's going to believe you when you pull a piece of bark out of the ground that looks like a person. It's a little statue of, you know, a guy. That's what, it's insane. Both of his hands are right there. His legs are separated. If you look at the way that it's done, you can obviously see it. But it doesn't look right because it's natural. It's made out of nature. What we have to understand is that the people were masters of nature. They were masters of it, right? Say hello, Buttercup. Say hello. Say, Dad put the camera on my face in the middle of the night last night to check me for mites. It's no fun. You having fun out here? You got food? All right. All right, you're fine out here. You're an outside bird. You don't need to be inside all day. So this is a huge mess because I've been packing up stuff. I got Nick's box up here. I got a nice little letter set up for him. And gonna hook up Matt at Creekstain. I hope that maybe you want one, but we got Amber over there in Texas, and then Jeremy in Massachusetts. So you guys are getting yours coming in soon. I do have this, which I drew kind of recently, and it's showing that same motif of that. I kind of have another picture of it too, but it's this style. I have a few of them, right? But it's nice to be able to look at them, kind of. And it's the same thing that we have all over, and all of the large stones that we find all over the place. You guys are going to see this motif. It'll be either this way or that way. And that's what we end up having on this. So what we have here is the bird beak, the eye. This is a little bit more of like a long beak bird. It's a little more ugly than the ones that I drew. However, it is that same motif of that bird with the wing, the big flat, same color section wing that flops over. The reason why this stuff doesn't look exactly like one thing is because this big flat wing is actually an eye, nose, and a mouth of a big character on this stone here. So it's because it has 50 or 60 or 70 or 80 or 90 different images on one rock, and 50% of your time is spent at night. So 50% of this rock is black. And it might be tough to see these profiles and these humans in here just right off the bat. But I can zoom in a little bit. It's pretty wild. So, I mean, they didn't have TVs. They didn't have cell phones. And it's easy to forget that stuff. It's easy to forget they didn't have Encyclopedia Britannica to tell them what an alligator head looked like. You know? They didn't have that. So they made alligator heads out of rocks. And they made monkeys out of rocks. And they made humans out of rocks. And they stored their history and their culture in rocks and even in wood. And when they did it in wood, they preserved them in clay. And so keep an eye on your construction sites, because you guys are going to see exactly what I have found out over the past 3 years of doing this here. So I think maybe that's it for now. Let me pause and decide. Yeah, I think that's a good place to stop, guys. There's more to see. So if you guys want to see anything else, or if you guys have any suggestions on better ways that I could do these videos, let me know. Because short of, like, I don't know what other kind of activism I can do, but I'm printing out flyers. I'm going up. Oh, look at the way the bird head looks. Wow. See how these things come out at you. It's just an eagle head. And as simple as that is, that's what they did. They had rocks, right? And that's my point of this, is keep an open mind and understand that, these people were different than you. And they were the same as you at the same time. They were just as smart as you. They wanted to be entertained just as much as you did. They were doing stuff all the time, everywhere they went, wherever they went, just like you are. They were just doing different things, and we're erasing these paleo people. And it's not okay to erase people, right? No one likes to be erased. So from history or otherwise. So let's not do that. Let's just own up to it. I mean, I don't know if I'm just stupid and we weren't supposed to talk about it, but I'm talking about it now because I think it's the right thing to do. I didn't give up the better half of my childhood for this country to be living in it, where we're gonna just conquer the place and then not talk about the people who were here before us. Like, we're behind Australia at this point. That's not good. let's figure it out. It's just, I don't know. It's just my way of thinking. That's how this country raised me. If there were people here before you and you moved into a place, you should probably talk about and honor those people. I'm not saying give them everything you got. I'm saying at least talk about it and learn about it. Don't just erase them. And that's what it seems, you know, that's my conclusion of what's happened here. That's what they continue to try to do. If they won't accept any type of art, they only accept weapons, you know, but they only accept certain type of weapons. Not the weapons that, you know, pre-Clovis weapons, no. Paleo points without flutes, no. Impossible, right? This is a hot, hot point. This thing's probably 130 degrees, woo! All right, have a great day, guys. Thanks for listening, and email me, especially if you're local. Appreciate it.